Yo. Taking huge inspiration from Super Eye Patch Wolf, I decided that I'm gonna share some things that I like. So let's go. As I lay in bed, completing my daily session of self-loathing, with the sun having already waved its goodbyes for the day, my phone whispered the quiet murmur of Spotify autoplay. I cannot tell you what song was playing at that moment, but I can tell you what song came next. It was a song titled Gift BGM by an artist I've never heard before named Ichiko Alba. As the soft chimes graced my ears, the lengthy 30-minute song seemed to envelop every part of my being. I became fully entranced within the song, and when it finished, I knew I had to find more. Ichiko Alba makes music that manages to be deeply personal without having to understand a single word. A blissful mix between beauty and sorrow, her folk tunes have an ethereal quality to them. Whenever the troubles of life seem too hard to bear, her songs take me to a place where those troubles cease to exist. Going on a walk while listening to her should be at the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It is just that good. If you're even a little bit interested, please watch her music video for Porcelain. That is the closest I've come to seeing the light. Here are some other artists that I recommend. This will never deeply impact me and change how I view life itself. If you do not know anything about Oyasumi Punpun, it is a coming-of-age story that focuses on Punpun from age 11 until his 20s, as he struggles with the familiar hardships of growing up. Each character's interactions within his life works to paint an unfiltered picture of the bleak and oftentimes hopeless reality that life can sometimes showcase. Delightfully weird, depressingly deep, and almost too much at times, the pure insanity of Inio Asano is the lifeblood of this series. An example of this insanity that I love is his portrayal of Punpun himself. A normal person would think to themselves, well, I want to make a hyper-realistic depiction of the unbearable struggles of life. I should probably make the main character look like a normal person to complement these deep and serious themes. Asano is not a normal person. He chose Bird. Every character in the story is a normal human except Punpun's family, with them being these bird people. I saw Punpun's depiction as a bird as just a humor gimmick initially, but as the series goes on, his physical form becomes a visual metaphor for his inner thoughts, and it leads to an ingenious form of characterization. It takes guts to literally make your main character a metaphor, and there are other countless examples where Asano is not afraid to break the mold and manages to create things of beauty. Before I move on, I do want to stress that this series is dark, like with all caps and bolded, dark. If you're not in the best state of mind or are feeling in any way depressed, this may not be the right series for you. I would even say that it is not quote-unquote an enjoyable read. I can compare the experience of reading this manga to running a marathon. At the beginning, you are full of hope, unknowing the reality that is soon to come. Each step you take seems to drag you deeper and deeper until you are hoping for the end or wondering why you started in the first place. But as you cross the finish line, these thoughts are replaced with relief. You may not have enjoyed the experience in the moment, but in the end, it became one of the most fulfilling activities you have ever done. If this sounds like something that may still interest you, you're insane, but in like a cool way. I know that this series will stay with me until my grave, and I often find myself skimming through the pages wishing I could experience it for the first time again. Also, the series has spawned some of the best fan-made videos I've ever seen that I highly recommend watching after completing the series. Real. If Oyasumi Punpun is finding the dark within the light, Real is finding the light within the dark. Finding what it means to face hardship and to continue on in spite of it, that is the soul of Real. Instead of rambling on and on about how good it is, like I kind of just did for Oyasumi Punpun, I'm just going to highlight one of my favorite characters and his story. Deep into the story, we are introduced to a man, nay, a legend, by the name of Shiratori Kazuo. Brash and arrogant, he is a pro wrestler's wrestler that found himself in a traffic accident that had left him wheelchair bound. Many people in his situation would have long abandoned even the thought of wrestling again, but Shiratori is not many people. His insatiable drive motivates him day in and day out towards recovery. Not even being able to do the simplest movements that he could do before, he still has his heart set on entering the ring one last time. Although he is Shiratori Kazuo, the Scorpion, he is still human, and as the days till his ordained match start to wither away, he cannot even support his own body weight with his legs. When the destined day comes, will he be able to rise to the heights that are expected of him and leave the wrestling world on top? Or will he tarnish his storied legacy, forever known as the paralyzed wrestler that could have been? Let me remind you that this is not a wrestling manga, and Shiratori Kazuo is not even a main character. Each character in Real is given the same, if not more, love and care that was put into Shiratori Kazuo. Combined with some of the best art I've ever seen, Real is truly beautiful and is something that every person should have the joy of experiencing. I know that this series will stay with me until my grave, and I often find myself skimming through the pages, wishing I could experience. I know that. I know. I know that. I know. English class. I know that the series will stay with me until my grave, and I know that the series will stay with me into my grave. Please, 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 please. I know that the series will stay with me till my grave, and I often find myself skimming through the pages, wishing I could experience it for the first time again.